Greetings, Great Awakening. Journey with me into the unknown with your host, Budon Jazir, or BJ Bay. Now, beautiful. My apology. I was looking at a crane. Um, Today, the observer becoming the observed. Because, see, along this journey, you start to realize that you were the observer. Now you become the observed. Or really, I should say, we always were observed. But it really starts to dawn on you that now once you realize that you are what you truly are, a soul, and you are observing in this physical flesh, this physical plane, that you are always being observed by the Most High. Now, before I really get into the observer becoming the observed, I'm gonna give you a little something so you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. You know how as a kid, or as a child, or you in school, and they take you to observatories or aquariums. Now in these observatories, you walk around and you're observing these fish and in these man-made systems, fooling them into believing that they're in the ocean. And you sit there and you watch them, and they swim past, they barely could even see you. They really can't between the glass, because the glass is reflective. So that's what we're in. We're in a big observatory, terrarium, ecosystem. And up there is, the reflective glass. Plus, all the chemtrails and spraying that they're doing is also keeping us from seeing up there. But the Most High's put that in place for us to be, the observers in this strange world, and also the observed by the Most High. Now, on this journey, you start to really think about your choices, your decisions, your actions, because you're being watched. You're being observed by the Most High. And everything you do is being judged, not just by the Most High, but by your true self as well. You're constantly observing and judging on your actions. The Most High is our first parents. So it's just like a child. When that child knows the parent is close, that child ain't gonna do nothing wrong, is it? You're gonna make the right choices and everything. Now, every now and then, some children, still get out of pocket. But for the most part, when your parents is around, you be on your best behavior, don't you? When they ain't around, that's when you want to cut a rug. I was there too, you know. But now, I realize I'm being watched. Even if I don't know that they're there all the time. And because I know that they're there, before I do anything, I always think first. We must. This is in the days of judgment right now. You better believe that. If you ain't paying attention to anything else, you better pay attention to what's going on around the world right now. Instead of watching these sports games and the new TV shows coming out. Why do you think they putting all this stuff out? You know, you got to think year round. It's something for you to watch on TV that doesn't even have your best interest. But yet, you can't wait for the next episode of this or the next episode of that or the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl or World Series. Because they want you to stay distracted. They don't want you to become an individual. Because, see, an individual to them is scary. Why do I say it's scary? Because an individual is thinking for themselves and not listening or believing what they were told. That's why an individual is dangerous to them. And the more and more individuals that, start to bloom and pop up, the more distractions they're going to put out. Now, all our life, we be observing, using our five senses. We actually have six. The sixth is vibrational, which you are, a vibrational being. But using these five senses, we are observing this created world. Just like, aquarium, observatory, a zoo, they're all the same. They're just a representation of what we're living in. We're living in a big globe, a big bowl, a fish tank, a prison. And even though we're living in this prison, we can't find ourselves, find who we truly are, and become an individual to think for themselves. Because even though we're in this prison, one of the worst prisons anybody can ever be in is right here. It's in themselves. Trapped, held hostage by your own self, your own thinking, your own actions. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else. And start taking blame for the things that you have done. Like I said, this journey, man, we are constantly being observed. We are observers being observed all the time. And on this journey, like I said, you start to realize that. And you start to make better choices, better decisions, better actions. Because you know you're being watched. Before this journey, I didn't ever even think anything of it. But now, that's all I think about. This is a beautiful journey. I'm not trying to scare any of you. I'm trying to prepare you for what you're going to realize. And what you're going to realize is that this is all fake. None of this is real. To your true self, this is dream world. And the real world is when you lay down and close your eyes and recharge your body. But yet, how many of you can actually even control, going into the spirit world? I had out-of-body experiences maybe 3 or 4 times. You know, this is my last day of my fast. I started. I got instruction on the 8th, and I was kind of debating it, and then I woke up on the 9th. Kind of like, yeah, I don't have a choice. So I went in on a 6, 10, 15. Now 6 plus 1 is 7. And 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So 7 plus 6 is 13, right? Today is 6, 15, 15. 666. Now, so I reached 666 within a 6-day fast of no food. So that's 4 6s. 4 6s is what? 4 times 6 is what? 24? 24 is 2 plus 4 is what? 6. My birth number is a 6. My house address adds up to a 6. This year itself is a 6. And at the end of this year, I'll be a 6. Now, this fast, all the fasts that I've done have been different. Each one was different. But I had so much energy in all of them. This one was you know, my queen asked me what was the purpose for it. I didn't really know. I just knew that I was instructed to. But now, now I do. It was self work. A lot of self work, a lot of meditation, a lot of sitting still though, because those other fasts I had so much energy that I was constantly moving. This one, no, no. The first day in, the last time I ate was on the 9th in the evening, about 5 or 6. About 1 or 2 on the 10th. It was dizziness, lightheadedness, a little bit of motion sickness, a little bit. Day 2 on the 11th, all day, from the time I got up to the time I went to sleep, it felt like I was woke but wasn't. And on top of that, I had dizziness all day and motion sickness or seasickness all day until the evening or so, and then it let up, and then I was able to, knock some things out. But I had to sit still. That's why I haven't really did a video in a while. During this whole Mercury retrograde, I think I did a couple, but after that, I stopped because I needed to work on self. See, we can't forget that on this journey. Yes, we're here to lighten our heart and help others, but at the same time, you got to help yourself. You got to constantly stay on yourself. So that's what I did, and felt the energy. So for 2 of those days, my first 2 days was basically the end of the retrograde. It ended on the 11th, really the 12th, but the last day of it was the 11th. Then it was transitioning out on the 12th. So it could have been that I was feeling. But more so, I was just feeling, the energy on Alma Mama. There's a lot of things coming, big things. Don't be scared, be prepared, but they coming. I felt them. It didn't feel good, you know. We are observed every day, all day. Just think of it as your parent or parents or elders watching over you. Just know that they are. They're there. They're listening. Just because they don't give you what you want when you ask for it, but you always get what you need. Always. They're going to give you what you need, not what you want. Then you also got to put in the work yourself. Being an observer, observing this world for what it is now and on this journey than before this journey. Before this journey, I was lost. Now on this journey, I'm on the right path. It's narrow. It's a narrow path, though. You can get knocked off real easily if you're not focused. And if you do step off, realize and understand that you stepped off and you need to get back on. Don't stay off too long. It's just like a person that lift weights, works out all the time. It's harder for you to gain strength. It's so easy for you to lose it. As much as you work out, you stop working out for about 3-4 days and see how hard it's gonna be for you to get back on. It's the same thing on this journey. So if you fall off or somebody knock you off or anything happen, you better realize that, okay, wait a minute, like I'm off the path and you need to jump back on and keep it going. Because that's why it's a journey into the unknown. That's why I say that. This is unknown. And you observe so many unknown things. Witness or see. So many things that you wasn't able to see when you were asleep. And now that I'm awake and aware, I actually finally seen the Truman Show. Queen she kept telling me to see the Truman Show because the city, I live in, or this town or whatever, it reminds her of it and the things I say, you know. So I finally seen the Truman Show. Wow, that was an eye opener. That made me observe even more and understand that I'm being observed even more. We are being observed, watched, judged, and right now we're in the time of judgment. You know, need some of that sun though. We're being observed, watched, judged on a daily basis. So just know that. Ugh. See that water behind me? It's beautiful, ain't it? Yeah. I'm about to go in a minute. Need to go handle some things. But, I just want to speak to y'all a little bit about, observer becoming the observed. Because we are, especially when you get on this journey. You are we observe even when we're not on the journey. But when you're on the journey, you're observed even more. You're watched and you're judged even more on your lawfulness and your righteousness and your lightening of your heart. So keep all that in mind. And I say on to each and every one of you, 13 love, thank you for embracing me and giving me the time to at least speak my truth. Until next time, peace of what? Mind. In the heart, to becoming one. Peace.